go through how the technology and the internet connections came about at the Virgin Islands, as it's quite a hub, I understand, nowadays.
Right. Well, it's a really good question. Is having this great tax benefit that is under the U.S. flag is a great benefit. And CFOs, CPAs, CEOs are always delighted to hear that. But when you run into the CTO, the Chief Technology Officer, typically he or she is like, are you kidding me? We're going to run our mission critical enterprises down in the Virgin Islands? Well, what happened is many, many years ago, Global Crossing, in the days when there were billions and billions of dollars out there, ran all these undersea cables to connect North America, South America, and Europe. And Global Crossing, because of this multi-billion-dollar investment, they needed to be able to check on those cables. Let's just say a merchant ship dragged an anchor and broke one of these fiber assets. They needed to figure out where was that break. So they needed what was called a cable landing station. And this would be a place where the technologist could send a beam of light down, and based on how long it took for the ping to come back, they could coordinate where the break was and then send out a repair ship. Those cable stations needed to be on U.S. terra firma in case of times of war. You're talking about military communications, governmental communications going through these fiber assets. So it had to be on U.S. terra firma, and it just so happens that the most southeasterly point of the United States is the island of St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So that's where they put these two massive cable stations, which were built to withstand hurricanes, earthquakes, have power backup that can last for weeks, diesel generators, fire retardants, anything that you'd probably find somewhere here in Silicon Valley as far as a data center. Only it wasn't a data center, it was a cable station. So the University of the Virgin Islands had the great idea, why don't we go to Global Crossing and say, hey, you guys aren't really using too much of this anymore. As technology advanced, the size of their servers kept getting smaller and smaller. So here was a facility like 55,000 square feet that now they just needed a few thousand square feet to house all their equipment. So the rest of it, when I first ran upon it, there were guys playing hockey in there. It was just like an empty facility. And so we went to Global Crossing and we said, would you consider letting the university partner with you and put a data center inside your facility? And after a lot of negotiation and millions of dollars of investment, they agreed. And so now we have a co-location data center inside what was the Global Crossing, I think it's now level 3, cable station. So now when a CTO says, okay, well, how can I make sure my stuff's going to be secure and everything, they're delighted to learn that their traffic is already transcending through the Global Crossing and level 3 network. Except now, instead of having to start from, say, San Jose, they could start right in St. Croix and get this great tax benefit and still have the same quality of service and redundancy and so forth as they could in any other major city. Parenthetically, there's so much fiber capacity in St. Croix that it's second only to New York City in the United States as far as capacity.